Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be doing today's video because many of you have been requesting me to show you how I take care of my fancy hair extensions. You guys are always complimenting me and telling me how amazing my hair and my hair extensions look, and a big part of that is because I take very good care of them. And because fancy hair extensions are very high quality hair extensions. So if you're watching this video, you probably already own a set of clip-in hair extensions, or you are interested in looking into getting a set of hair extensions and want to get more information on hair extension care tips. So I thought I'd help you girls out and show you my best tips and tricks to help you prolong the lifespan of your hair extensions and allow you to enjoy them for as long as possible. So before I get into this video, I want to mention that the tips and tricks I'm going to share with you are meant for 100% Remy human hair extensions. Now, fancy hair extensions are made out of 100% Remy human hair, so the guidelines and the tips that I'm going to be giving you in this video may not work for other hair types such as synthetic hair or non-Remy human hair. So now that I've got that out of the way, if you guys want to know what my top hair care tips are for taking care of your clip-in hair extensions, please keep watching. So the first tip I want to give you guys is brushing. It's so important to know how to brush your hair extensions properly without causing any damage to them. So for those of you who are not familiar with the anatomy of a hair extension weft, a clip-in hair extension weft to be more specific, basically what it is a few rows of hair that are sewn together and then they're reinforced a couple of times and then sewn together either on a lace weft or a ribbon weft. Those tend to be more of the higher quality hair extensions. Now, fancy hair extensions in particular are sewn onto a lace weft. So let's say you're styling your hair and you want to brush out your hair and you start brushing your hair out from the top and go all the way to the bottom. What happens is your brush is going to get caught in all the knots and you're going to start pulling on the hair strands. When you start pulling on the hair strands, it starts loosening up the reinforcement up at the top of the wefts, and over time it's going to weaken the reinforcement of the weft and cause a lot of hair fallout and shedding, which we don't want. So to make sure that you brush your hair safely and don't cause a lot of hair fallout, you always want to start brushing your hair extensions from the bottom and gently making your way up to the top. Another hairbrush tip I want to share with you guys is if you have a ton of knots in your hair extensions for whatever reason, maybe you styled them in a certain way and you are out the whole day and dancing and moving around, inevitably long hair will tangle and mat. That's just the biology of hair. It's impossible to have every single strand stay in the same position, so they will tangle. So if you have a ton of tangles, what I would recommend is gripping your hair extensions like this very tightly and then gently untangle them again, starting from the bottom and work your way up to the top. And by gripping them, what you're doing is preventing your hairbrush from pulling on the strands and therefore pulling on the reinforcement of the wefts. My second tip is to get a very high quality heat protectant spray. Now, I used to use the Tresemme heat protectant spray. This heat protectant spray, I'm sure many of you guys have seen at the drugstore or have heard here on YouTube, but personally, I've used it for several months because I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I found that it was very drying to my hair and it would actually make my hair extensions get ruined much faster. And the reason for that is because unfortunately most heat protectants that are available in the drugstore are full of nasty chemicals, and that is going to make your hair look dull, make it feel dry, and make it look more brittle. So I found this amazing heat protectant spray. I bought it at Whole Foods. It's by Giovanni. It's from the Two Chic collection. It's the avocado and olive oil heat protectant spray for dry and damaged hair. Now, if you look at the back of the bottle, all of the ingredients are 100% natural, and I find that this gives my hair a lot of shine and it nourishes it as well as protect it. I've been using the Giovanni heat protectant spray for about 3 or 4 months. I used to use another heat protectant spray by Giovanni, and then I found this one, and this is already my second bottle. So I've already used up 3 bottles of the Giovanni heat protectant spray, and I absolutely love it. They're not only just available at Whole Foods, you can also find them on well.ca if you guys are from Canada, or amazon.com if you guys are in the US. And I know that a bunch of health food stores carry Giovanni as well. What is this? I feel like it's going to be bothering me. Stay down. Okay, ladies, so I'm aware that maybe some heat styling tools can go up as high as 450 degrees Fahrenheit. That does not mean that it is safe to use that temperature on your hair, let alone your hair extensions. Human hair actually has a melting temperature of 450 degrees Fahrenheit, so you want to stay away from that temperature as much as possible. So the range that I would recommend using is between 290 degrees Fahrenheit and 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And the rule of thumb is if you're going to be leaving your hair on the flat iron or whatever heat styling tool you're using for a longer period of time, you want to use a lower temperature. If you're just going to be gliding your hair over with a heat styling tool, then you can go with a slightly higher temperature. So for example, if you're flat ironing your hair, you can go with a slightly higher temperature because you're not exposing your hair to that amount of heat for a long period of time. But if you're using something like a curling wand or a curling barrel where your hair is on the curling barrel for a longer period of time, I would suggest going with a lower temperature to minimize the amount of damage and heat exposure to your hair. So just like the temperature that you use to heat style your hair extensions is important, equally as important is how long you keep each strand of hair on that particular heat styling tool. So my rule of thumb is not to go more than 10 to 15 seconds. If you're using a super low temperature, then you can get away with 20 seconds, but nothing above that. So if you're curling your hair and you're wrapping it around a curling iron, you can hold it for between 10 to 15 seconds and not cause a lot of heat damage to your hair extensions. The thing you guys have to keep in mind is that even though you get really super high quality hair extensions that are made from 100% Remy human hair, they are still a lot more vulnerable and susceptible to getting damaged than your own hair. Your own hair is attached to your scalp. It gets all those natural oils and sebum that's created by your scalp, so it's constantly being nourished and you're constantly replenishing it when you go in the shower. Your hair extensions don't have that, so they can dry out much faster. They can become brittle much more faster. That's why you have to take much better care of your hair extensions than you would your own hair. Another important tip is to not heat style your hair extensions too frequently. I would say don't heat style your hair extensions more than 1 to 2 times a week. The less you heat style them, the more you can enjoy them. And you can do so many beautiful heatless hairstyles without applying heat to your hair extensions, such as incorporating them into braids, into voluminous buns, ponytails. The list goes on and on. If you guys watched my YouTube channel for a while, you'd see so many beautiful heatless hairstyles you can do with clip-in hair extensions. So the safest heat styling tools for your hair extensions are ones that are made of ceramic. So one of the benefits of having a ceramic heat styling tool over anything else is that it creates an even heat. It's not a pulsating heat. It's much gentler on the hair than metal plated irons. And you also want to keep in mind that if a heat styling tool says that it is ceramic plated, it is not the same thing. It might still create a pulsating heat, which is more damaging to the hair. Another amazing thing about ceramic heat styling tools is that they are ionic by nature. This means that they transfer negative ions to your hair, so it eliminates frizz and it makes your hair look smooth, shiny, and absolutely beautiful. Another amazing technology you want to look for when you're purchasing a heat styling tool to use on your own hair and especially your hair extensions is infrared technology. So infrared light is a type of heat wave that penetrates each hair strand consistently, and what it does is it protects your hair from being overexposed to too much heat. So essentially it protects your hair from the inside out. So just like a heat protectant protects your hair from the outside in, infrared technology will protect your hair from the inside out. So I have 2 tools that I swear by that I've been using for years and I absolutely love them. So the first tool that I've been using for a very long time is my ceramic flat iron by the company CROC. If you guys have been watching my videos since I first started in November 2013, you know that this is my holy grail flat iron. I haven't used anything else on my YouTube channel. Before I even started my YouTube channel, I've tried so many different flat irons and nothing straightens and smooths my hair quite like this one. This one is absolutely amazing. It's the only flat iron that actually styles my hair in one pass. I feel like it makes my hair so much smoother, shinier, and healthier looking. It is also ceramic, and what I love about this especially is that it has infrared technology. So like I said, the infrared technology penetrates your hair and protects it from overexposure to heat. If you guys are in the market for a really amazing flat iron or a really amazing ceramic heat styling tools with infrared technology from CROC, I actually have a coupon code for them. If you guys want to use it, it will get you 20% off anything on their site, excluding sale items. So if you guys are looking into CROC and you want to save a little bit of money, feel free to check out my coupon code in my description box. So if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I'm absolutely obsessed with T3. T3 makes, in my opinion, the best curling wands. They're all ceramic. My hair just glides on it. And I noticed that as soon as I started using this curling wand, my hair extensions have never looked better. Again, if you've been watching my YouTube channel for a long time, you know that one of my holy grail hair care products is coconut oil. I use it on my natural hair to prevent color fading, and it works wonders. And as you can imagine, if it works wonders on your natural hair, it will work wonders on your hair extensions too. So what I do before I wash my hair extensions is coat them from top to bottom in coconut oil. And I leave the coconut oil in my hair extensions for about half a day or a full day, and then I wash them as I would normally. So then I would rinse out the coconut oil out from them as much as I possibly could, then shampoo, condition, and if you still feel like you didn't get all the coconut oil out, you can repeat the shampoo and conditioner process again. So basically what coconut oil does is it penetrates your strands. It's one of the only oils in the entire world that has molecules that are small enough to penetrate your strands. That's why it's amazing for color fading prevention. Once it gets into the strands, it prevents water from seeping into your strands and stripping it away from color. It is also amazing for restoring shine and making your hair extensions literally look like you just took them out of the packaging. So if you find that your hair extensions are getting a little bit too dry or brittle, that just means you need to give them a little bit more TLC. They need some moisture because they're not getting any from your scalp. So treat them to a nice coconut oil treatment, and I promise you they will be good as new. So a lot of people ask me, how often do you wash your fancy hair extensions? So I wear my fancy hair extensions whenever I'm filming. So that's at least once a week. And then on top of that, if I go out somewhere. So it could be anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. Now, when I do wear my hair extensions, I only use oils on them and serums. So these products, they don't really build up on each other. But if you use a lot of hairspray or mousse or gel, then you have to wash your hair extensions much more frequently. But if you're like me and you don't use any hairspray or hair gel or anything that's going to build up on itself and make the hair extensions look dull and dry, then you can get away with washing them every 20 to 30 wears. But if you wear them on a daily basis and you heat style them a lot and you put different products in them that will accumulate product and make them look more dull, then I would suggest washing them at every 10 to 20 wears. I generally don't like to have a range. I like to gauge by my hair extensions. I know that if my hair extensions stop feeling as soft and don't look as shiny, I know it's time for a coconut oil treatment and washing. So just look at your hair extensions, see how they're feeling, see how they're looking, and then make that judgment based on that. I just want you guys to keep in mind that the less you wash them, the better it is for your hair extensions. Another tip I want to give you guys is how to properly wash your hair extensions. So basically, when you're ready to wash them, you want to take all of your wefts and collect them in the same direction. So you want to have the wefts at the top with the clips and then the rest of the hair hanging loosely. Then you want to take all of the hair extension wefts, tie them together at the top with a good hair elastic, and make sure that it's not too tight and not too loose. If it's too tight, you can break some of the hairs and cause them to become weaker. If it's too loose, then it's going to be very difficult to wash them. Also, collecting them in the same direction is going to minimize tangling and matting. So once you have them collected, what you want to do is put them into a large empty container. And this is assuming that you have already done the coconut oil treatment or not. It's completely up to you. The same tips I'm going to give you now will apply to both. You put your hair extensions into the empty container, fill it up with water, rinse it out completely. If you have the coconut oil in them, make sure you rinse it out as much as possible. Spill out the water and then fill it up again. Next, you want to take a little bit of shampoo and then massage it gently through the hair. Don't rub the hair extensions because that's going to create friction. It's going to cause split ends. You want to just massage it through the hair, make sure that you comb it through very evenly. And then once you have distributed the shampoo from top to bottom, you rinse it out and then follow up with the same technique using conditioner. You can also follow up with a deep conditioning mask after you've shampooed and conditioned your hair extensions. It's completely optional. There are some amazing deep conditioning masks out there which will help your hair extensions to naturally detangle and make them a lot more moldable when you are styling them. While we're on the subject of washing, I do want to recommend using hair products that are as natural as possible. So if you use a shampoo and conditioner that have natural organic ingredients, you're going to prevent any chemicals from potentially damaging your hair extension, and you can extend their lifespan for a little bit longer. So the brands that I really love are Giovanni, Andalou Naturals, Mill Creeks, and John Masters Organics. These brands make amazing natural products that will not damage your hair extensions, and they're easily accessible pretty much anywhere nowadays. So after you've washed your hair extensions and they are 100% clean, what I like to do is take a towel, lay it out on a flat surface, remove the hair tie that is holding the hair extension wefts together, and then lay out each individual weft on its own so it's separated from the others, and then I allow them to air dry 100%. You never want to brush your hair extensions when they are wet. When your hair is wet, they are a lot more vulnerable to breakage. So what you want to do is hold off on brushing until they are 100% dry. Once they are dry, you can go ahead and start brushing them out from bottom to top. So once your hair extensions are fully dry and you brush them out from bottom to top, you can feel free to clip them into your hair as you normally would and then style them with your natural hair. So just like our natural hair, all hair eventually starts to get dead ends and split ends from heat damage, from you putting them up in different hairstyles. So you want to maintain your ends so your hair extensions are always looking healthy. So if you guys have seen a couple of my hair hack videos or my video on how to cut split ends, you would have seen this technique that I've demonstrated, but for those of you who haven't, I will show you again. So basically what you want to do is get a pair of scissors, preferably barber scissors, and then what you want to do is work section by section, and there's two ways of doing this. The first way is taking a section of hair and sliding it through your fingers like this so that the hair is covering the middle finger, and then you slide down, and as you slide down, you're going to see all of these frayed ends pop up. And then whenever you see some dead or split ends, you just want to go in with your scissors and then snip them off. So I usually love doing this when I'm in my downtime and I'm just watching something on YouTube or whatever. I know that it is tedious to do this, but I would only recommend doing this maybe once a month. You don't need to do it more than that. Another option to cut off your dead and split ends is to take a section and just twist it, and then you're going to see all these frayed ends come out from the sides, and just the same idea. You want to go along the hair and cut off any dead or split ends that you see. Another important tip that I want to give you guys is to avoid friction as much as possible. So if you know you're going to be physically active, such as going to the gym, or you're going for a long walk or run, whatever it may be, always remove your clip-in hair extensions. Any friction against clothing or the back of your neck is going to create a lot of tangling and matting in that area, and over time it can damage your hair extensions. If you guys have ever owned a set of clip-in hair extensions, it doesn't matter whether they are synthetic or the highest quality clip-in hair extensions ever, they always mat at the back of the neck. This is because the hair extensions have the most friction against the nape of your neck than anywhere else. So if you can, always remove them before going to the gym or doing any type of physical activity to avoid as much friction as possible. You also always want to remove your clip-in hair extensions before going swimming, whether it is the ocean, the pool, or a lake. It doesn't matter. It's the same concept. What happens is you're causing a lot of friction, and not only that, you're hair extensions are going to start tangling up with your natural hair, and once your hair is sopping wet, it's going to be so difficult to remove the clip-in hair extensions, and you might rip some strands and then weaken the wefts, and it's not a pretty thing to deal with. Always, always, always remove your clip-in hair extensions before going swimming. Another issue with wearing your clip-in hair extensions when you're going swimming is dealing with salt water if you're swimming in the ocean, and dealing with all of those chemicals in pools. Those chemicals and exposing your hair extensions to a lot of salt is not good for your hair. It will dry it out, it will damage it, it will cause the color to fade. It is a huge no-no. So always remove your clip-in hair extensions before going swimming. And my last tip is, when you are not wearing clip-in hair extensions, you want to make sure that you are storing them properly. You want to store them in their own little storage box so they are not being tangled up or being squashed by anything else. They need to have their own space to breathe. So fancy hair extensions come in a box like this. So you can store them in here when you are not using them, and neatly tuck it away under your bed or in a drawer or wherever it is you keep your heat styling tools, or wherever you want to keep your fancy hair extensions, as long as they are safe and away from water or moisture and they are at room temperature. I know a lot of ladies are guilty of leaving their hair extensions out on their countertops where there's a window nearby and they're being exposed by the sun. And even though you guys may not realizing it, you are creating heat damage. Your hair extensions are laying out on your countertop and being exposed to UV rays, which is not good. It's going to cause color fading. It's going to make your hair extensions a lot drier and brittle. You always want to make sure that you are storing them in a safe place and keep them tucked away somewhere away from light and away from moisture. All right, my loves, so that wraps up my top tips on how to take care of clip-in hair extensions. I really hope that you enjoyed it and learned something new, and I hope that I was able to answer all of your questions about hair care tips on how to take care of your clip-in hair extensions. If there are any questions that you guys still may have that I didn't cover in this video, please feel free to leave your comments in the comments below. I will be reading them and will be answering them to the best of my ability to make sure that no question goes unanswered. And as always, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more videos like this one. You can also follow the Fancy Hair Instagram account for daily hair inspiration, and follow my personal Instagram account to see my life in photos. Both Instagram handles are in the description box below, so please feel free to check that out at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.